Hello. We are here for our Solstice Strengthening Series live Q&A session, as well as just me talking more in depth about what this challenge is all about. So if you're catching me live, I encourage you to stick around, hop on and say hi, and let me know any questions that are like at the forefront of your mind that are coming up about this challenge, and anything that you want to know about this challenge. As I get into it, questions might come along, so maybe you just listen for a little bit and see. Maybe I'll answer those questions as we get into this. But basically, I'm here. I just want to start getting the word out and really just start honing in on why this challenge is such an amazing challenge and why I encourage you to join it this year. If you haven't done so in the past, whether you've been following me for a while and you've seen me do this in previous years, or whether you're brand new and you're just coming across me and who I am, and you're curious and you're a yogi, or maybe you're just looking for a way to start practicing more mindfulness, or a way to just get more in tune with yourself, right? There's so many reasons that you can do this challenge. But before I get into talking more about it, I want to explain a little bit about who I am if you have not met me before. And for those that know me, just pop in and say hi. I'd love to see who's here. And if you don't know me, pop in and say hi. I want to meet you. But my name is Megan Tyler. I go by Mindful Meg Ty on social media as my tag, but mindfulness is my game. Mindfulness is something that has changed my life and how I move through my life with more connection to myself and to others, to the world around me, to my purpose, right? Mindfulness is this kind of umbrella of all these awesome and amazing practices that can help you connect deeper with yourself, with those around you, with the world, get a deeper understanding of your purpose, of where you're meant to be in this life, of helping you figure out how to navigate, right? And that goes into the deeper philosophy of like yoga and these mindfulness practices and why they're so beneficial for our mental health. But other than that, right, moving in this specific challenge will be, the focus is kind of going to be on yoga. So we're going to be doing mostly yoga classes and focusing on that as our mindfulness practice. So the focus for this challenge will be more so on a physical practice, but I want to work in other things as well to tap into mindfulness, because mindfulness is really the umbrella of all the different things and practices that I have come to love myself and come to want to share with others, to create spaces for others to experience, because I've seen the healing practices amidst my own practice, like I've experienced them myself, and I've seen others experience them in workshops I've been able to offer, as well as just like in that same shared experience of connecting with people in those spaces. So to go back in my background, I started yoga back in 2012. I was a junior in college. I was a senior in college at the time, and it was right before I had graduated college. I was kind of just in a bad space of losing myself throughout my college years a little bit. And I think we all go through that sense of losing ourselves in our lifetime. And that's part of the human journey, is having to rediscover who you are and rediscover yourself. So for me, yoga was a big factor in being able to usher me into finding my authentic self again, and being able to learn to love myself again and find my worth again. And so many things came from stumbling onto my yoga mat and getting into a practice. And then that's built over the last 10 years of practicing. I was able to get my teacher training in 2019, a 200-hour vinyasa teacher training in Seattle at Hot Yoga Inc. And from there, I moved back to the Eastern Washington area. So I am located in Prosser with a studio space I share with another yoga studio owner, or another gal in town. We're co-owners here at Free Spirit Yoga and Trapeze, or Free Spirit Wellness is what we rebranded it. But yeah, Seattle is where I had started my yoga journey. So I spent 10 years in Seattle after moving there from growing up in this area in the Eastern Washington, in Sunnyside, just 20 minutes away from Prosser. And I grew up in a small town, right? So I wanted to get out. I went to Seattle and I wanted to be in the big city. I wanted to experience things. But with that big leap of getting out of my comfort zone, I ended up realizing that I was losing myself, right? With all these other things that I didn't know how to balance my nervous system. I didn't have this inner connection and inner awareness. So like before I even knew it, I had like lost myself and I wasn't in a really great place. I was feeling depressed. I was feeling this like heightened anxiety and all these things where like I just didn't have the awareness to know that I was struggling. Like I got so good at disconnecting and so good at withdrawing from my coping mechanism was disconnection, right? And disconnection was how I lived for a long time. So Q yoga, that just opened up, like I said, my perspective, my healing path in terms of finding my unique self again and finding my authenticity. And with that, other practices that I've really loved is being an artist. So I've tried to bring in my artistic practices with kind of trying to integrate them with mindfulness practices and yoga and meditation, because artistic expression has always been kind of my first form of meditation before I even really knew how to meditate. So sitting down and getting lost in an art project was like, that was my happy place. And so I've come back around to realize that like that was always there as my healing space before I even really knew how to utilize it as such. And so now I'm in this place where I'm really trying to just use all of these practices I've learned and accumulated and continue to want to learn, right? There's so much more out there that I want to explore and bring into my space of healing for being able to share with you guys. But mostly in the last 5 years, I've been able to hone in on my vinyasa yoga practice. And I've also been able to take up teaching trapeze yoga here at Free Spirit. And that has been just an amazing, amazing addition to my teaching practice. If you haven't experienced the yoga trapeze, I highly suggest you do. But I will leave the yoga trapeze for another time in terms of going deeper into that. But I've also gained certification in yoga breath work with Yoga Body. And I continue to just try to see how I can expand and be able to accumulate skills that can help myself in my own journey, but also be able to share, because I have found such a sweet, loving place, and I feel so fulfilled when I can share these practices with you all. So that's what I'm here doing. A little bit of background of like why I'm here wanting to share this practice with you, and why I'm here wanting you to be a part of this Solstice Strengthening Challenge. So the Solstice Strengthening Series is an 8-week yoga challenge. And I've built it as such to expand over 8 weeks. It starts this month on October 26th. It's going to be on Saturdays at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. So if you are not in the Pacific Northwest and you're elsewhere, you can still tune in. And I'll get into ways you can participate if you aren't local, for sure. But the main reason why I wanted to make this challenge available online is because it has so much bang for being a free challenge, right? There's so much good information that's going to be shared in this challenge that I encourage you, even if you're like, I'm not sure if I can make all of the days yet, I'm not sure if I can do all 8 weeks, I encourage you to just join it and you'll be enrolled automatically for next year. So that's a plus, right? And even if you can't join us, you're able to tap into it whenever you want to start. So that's what I'm going to get into here. This is going to be a challenge that is 8 straight weeks. We have no classes during Thanksgiving, so we'll get that week off of Thanksgiving. But we're doing 8 straight weeks starting October 26th, and it's going to run until December 21st, right? So there's 8 weeks until December 21st. The winter solstice is on December 21st, and that is what we're building up to. That is the pinnacle of our journey together. And so what I'm going to get into as I explain this challenge is some of the questions that are commonly asked, to explain some of these details and get into it. So if you have any of those questions as they start coming across your mind as I'm going through this, drop them in the comments. So who is this challenge for, right? This challenge is for anyone, really. It's for anyone who, as I mentioned at the very beginning, who wants to explore their mindfulness practice, who wants to develop a mindfulness practice, who wants to develop a yoga practice, who just wants to be able to connect to themselves in a way. And it's a way for you to learn about yoga, yes, but it's a way for you to tap into other practices as well. So I created this as an introduction to mindful embodiment practices, which is yoga, which is meditation, which is these things I've been talking about. Our main focus is going to be our yoga practice, but then I'm going to offer in some other things in this online community space that I've created that you can tap into if you want to start experiencing these other practices. And the only way you'll know if they'll work for you is if you try them. And so that's why this challenge is made so available for those that can't be with us in person. I want you to have the access to be able to start exploring different teaching styles, different methods, and see what works for you, right? So I've had participants in this challenge that have been in their 20s, 30s, all the way up until their 60s, 70s, right? It's great for those that are just starting and just new to yoga because we're going to really be breaking down fundamental postures in a yoga practice, fundamental postures that you might see in a yoga flow when you go to a group class. This is also great review for anyone who has done yoga before, who is already well into their practice, right? Who's already been practicing, who already goes to classes. This is a great review for any of you who just needs to tap back into those foundation of your yoga practice and tap back into those foundational postures. So this is a great challenge whether you're new or not, right? This is also great for anyone looking to build their mindfulness practice, like I said, to build a deeper connection to themselves and the world around them. And for those that are looking to be intentional about their energy as the seasons change into the darker months, right? Because that's really what it's about. I'm going to get into that here more so. So what are you going to get out of this challenge, and why do you want to go all in? Why do you want to put your best foot forth in trying this out, right? By signing up. That's the first step. Sign up and then just take it day by day, see how it goes, right? What's inside this challenge is really like I said, a resource pool for you to grab from. So I've created this unique challenge space as a online community space where you can access your classes to sign up, you can access your video replays, you can access the live extra bonus material that we're going to have, as well as having a space to connect with other people that are going to be involved in the challenge with you. So like I had mentioned earlier, by signing up to this challenge, you're going to get automatic enrollment for next year's challenge. So you'll already be set up to get it in there for next year, which is great. This is a great thing to make like a yearly tradition, and that's why we're doing it. Each year, we're going to come back and do those sun salutations, and I'll get to why in a second. But in this space, you'll get automatic enrollment into the next year's live Solstice Challenge. You'll also get that instant access to all the video recordings if you can't make class, so then you can just come in later in the day and do that recording at your own time with your schedule. There's going to be a bulletin board, as I mentioned, in the community to ask questions and interact with the fellow participants that are there with you, doing it alongside you. There's going to be additional grow work. So it's not homework, it's grow work. It's reflection questions, or it is little practices to give you so that you can grow in between our sessions together, right? And you can actively be growing, right? It's grow work, right? And then there's bonus mindfulness resources in the forms of journal prompts that I've put in there, as well as mindful meet sessions that I've included in our lineup of our 8 weeks so that we can tap into other mindful embodiment practices, such as meditation, such as visualization, breath work, right? So I really want to give you access to be able to play around in there at your own pace if you want to take it at your own pace, or you can join us live, right? And have it be an interactive space. But everything is going to be in that community space that's going to be online so that you can have it all in an easy spot to access, right? And so that space, that community space, that's the link that you're going to want to get to, right? So I have a link in my bio. Go click on that, and that's going to have you enter your email to get the access code to this community space, right? And it'll give you an email right after with that code, with the link to the community, and for you to get in there with some more information about what that schedule looks like. So I encourage you, if you're like, yep, I'm sold, head to the link in the bio, go get your email signed up to get that access code. But let me explain a little bit more about why we're doing this challenge, right? And what a sun salutation day is, because you probably heard me mention that a couple times. You've heard me mention the winter solstice. So let me talk about like, why are we doing this challenge? Why do I do it now? And really what the main focus is in our yoga practice when we're going to be doing this challenge. So our 8 weeks is going to be focused around breaking down a sun salutation A. And what is a sun salutation? Sun salutations are typically found in a vinyasa style practice and is traditionally practiced to usher in the new day, hence the name, right? And vinyasa in Sanskrit can be translated to mean linking breath to motion and continuous flow, which makes this various movements of a sun salutation physically challenging for sure, as well as a great cardiovascular workout. So I'm going to show you a moment here, a demo of what a sun salutation looks like, because you may be hearing the name and like not sure, but when you see it, you're like, oh yeah, I've seen that in a class. Wait, that's what we're going to be doing a ton of when we celebrate the winter solstice. Hey, bear with me. Okay, so our sun salutation, usually start in your mountain pose. It's consisted of 5 poses, or roughly. So we start in a mountain pose. We go ahead and circle sweep up, and then we fold forward. We find our forward fold, pose 2. We find our halfway lift, pose 3. We find our plank pose, pose 4, right? We do our half push-up, our chaturanga, pose 5. We do our upward facing dog, pose 6. And roll over those toes, press those hips high, you find your downward dog. So maybe like 5 to 7 postures in our sun salutation, right? So the idea of your winter solstice tradition, it's yogic tradition, right, to repeat this sun salutation. So you come back to your mountain pose and you repeat, right? So you might have seen this in a yoga practice. You might have had a teacher who's had you go through a couple of these, right, to warm up in a yoga class. But that's your sun salutation, right? That can be a lot. That can get tiring after 2, 3, 4, even 1, right, depending on where you're at. The goal of this challenge is to show you variations of your sun salutation, to break down each of those postures week by week so that we can strengthen the posture and then put it all together at the end to feel confident when you reach our winter solstice challenge, which is going to be the celebration of doing a tradition of 108 sun salutations. So why would we practice 108, right? You're thinking 108, that's a lot of those to do, right? It's not about doing all 108 by any means, right? That is not what I want you to focus on, is that number of 108. 108, although it may seem random, it's not. It's a sacred and significant in many ways, appearing in many disciplines from astronomy to yoga. So for example, in numerology, 108 equals 9, which symbolizes universal love, eternity, and awakening. In Ayurveda, there are 108 sacred points on the body, right? In astronomy, the distance between the sun and the earth is approximately 108 times the sun's diameter. And mala beads necklaces, the mala bead necklaces, have 108 beads, which are used to count during meditation. So there's all these times that this number is constantly being shown or constantly being seen, right, in these ancient practices. And really, why do we practice now on winter solstice? Why is this yogic tradition to practice 108 sun salutations around the changing of seasons? You may be wondering. It's a tradition reserved for the changing of the seasons, and it's also great for bringing in the new year, I should note. So it's not just the seasons. You can do this around the change of the new year as well. But in yogic tradition, it's believed that the internal fire that you build during this practice is cleansing, detoxifying, and gets you more in touch with yourself. So there's so much more internal power that's happening here when you can get over the mind factor of, wow, I'm doing a sun salutation over and over and over and over and over, right? So there's so much more importance deeper than just like, oh, I've done a lot of sun salutations and that's cool. Like I can check that off as a cool accomplishment. No, there's so much more underneath the surface of actually doing this challenge and being there for that pinnacle reach, like the top peak of what we're going to get to is that final class, which is December 21st. We'll have 2 hours to work on those sun salutations. So it's not like we're going to be just getting in there in an hour and trying to pump out as many as we can. We're going to have 2 hours, a longer class that day. And we're going to be, like I said, breaking down each week leading up to that celebration of winter solstice. We're going to be breaking down mountain pose week 1. We're going to be breaking down forward fold week 2. We're going to be breaking down halfway lift week 3. So each week we're taking one of those postures out of our sun salutation, and we are working on drills that are going to strengthen. We're working on modifications so that you know how to confidently get into that posture. And you feel strong to build up your strength in that posture, right? To build a foundation. And then as we work through our weeks of working and breaking down each posture, we're also going to be going over variations of our sun salutation. So along with these variations and modifications with each posture brings along maybe a variation of how you can do that sun salutation. So for example, this is one I love to show. And by putting in variations for your sun salutation, you're able to conserve your energy. You're able to know and like reassure yourself that like, okay, I'm feeling a little bit tired, right? After like 2 or 3 sun salutations, I'm going to go ahead and do this modification instead so that I can pick it back up and keep going and feel confident that I'm not struggling through it, right? So instead of that full sun salutation I showed you earlier, what if you just did this where you reach up high from your mountain pose and then you fold it forward just like we did for everyone else, right? Just like everyone else is going to be folding forward. We find our halfway lift. We're on the same note here. And then instead of hands come down and you step back to your plank, you crouch and curl, right? So as you crouch and curl and you're staying here, maybe someone else or other students in the class are stepping back and doing their plank, their upward facing dog, chaturanga, and they're coming up, right? And then you just meet back as we all stand up. So you'll see in these variations that no matter what, you're all going to end up, you're going to start in a mountain pose and you'll end up kind of in the same position. So it's just a matter of timing and knowing that you're taking your variation while another student beside you might be taking their variation, right? Unique to your body, unique to their body. So it's really about understanding and building that foundation and building that mind-body connection, understanding the importance of it, right? And then another purpose of doing this sun salutation and really kind of going all in, I don't know, kind of, the purpose behind going all in and trying out this tradition of doing 108 sun salutations or trying to achieve as many as we can in our allotted time is, one, you're able to move energy. The internal heat that is created helps activate prana, which is an upward energy, which helps create, move, and energy and stuck emotions. So by allowing yourself to get into this sun salutation, which is a great cardiovascular workout, you're getting that energy moving, you're getting that internal fire going, and you're going to feel all of a sudden like this chance to surrender. Because at some point, the following thought is bound across your mind: why did I sign up for this? But if you let that thought pass and keep going, using the modifications that you have, using the confidence that you built up in your body and in that connection of knowing what you need to do to continue on, right, without struggling, without compensating, in a confident and a intentional way, right, you will find a state of ease, a sense of flow, surrendering to the process. Acknowledging what comes up emotionally, because there might be stuff that comes up emotionally, and then allowing yourself to let it go. Because you're finding when you finish, you feel lighter. You may even understand the meaning of this ancient ritual, right? But you won't know unless you experience it. So that's why I encourage you, I invite you into this space so that you can join us in experiencing this, right? If you've seen me post about this and you haven't joined, this is your sign to join this year. If you're new to this and you're still kind of questioning, just keep following along as I continue to spill the details and share more about this. Get a feel for my vibe, right? But it's a free online challenge. So who doesn't love free? Join it. It's free. And then you'll have the resources to do with them with what you will, right? If you join us live, I would love that. If you have it in your back pocket to touch on a month or two down the road for the new year, that's amazing too. I just want these resources to be in your back pocket. And that's why I'm here offering this challenge. So how can you participate, right? I've said all of that about what this challenge is going to be, what you get out of it, and now how can you participate? As I've tried to drill in, this is a free challenge for anyone that wants to stream online and join live, or as well as free for anyone that just wants to join in and do this at their own pace, right? You don't have to join us live. You can just do it at your own pace. But for anyone that wants to stream from home and join in on this full 8-week challenge, this is free to join. All you have to do is go head to the link in my bio, click that link that says Solstice Strengthening Series. That's going to take you to a page where you'll enter your email so that you can get on our list to get the access code, to get that community link, and then you'll be able to also be in that list to get the class reminders, right? So yeah, it's free. Go sign up. And I've created that online interactive community space where everything will be stored to make it easy for you to access and to just have it all in one space. So go head to the link in my bio if you're ready to get your email in there and get that access code. Otherwise, for those that are in town, in Prosser, are around, that are local and want to join in person, we have our studio space here at Free Spirit Wellness, and it is going to be a limited amount of people that can fit in our space here, so about 15 people max. But if you want to join and do it in person live with us, I encourage you to as well. That is a paid option there. If you are going to join us in person, you can drop in one time and do $20 drop-in, or you can pay for a class pack, which would get you all 8 Saturday classes for that strengthening series. And that's going to be the price of $144. But I'll let you in a little secret there. That 8 class pack to do just the Solstice Strengthening Series with us in person is actually about the same price as our unlimited monthly membership. Our unlimited monthly membership is $145, and that would get you access to the Solstice Strengthening Series as well as all of our other weekly classes. So if you are a member with us already and you have an unlimited monthly membership, know that you can join us as part of your membership to get into that Solstice Strengthening Series. So like I said, you can join us online for free to stream from home. Just go get that access access code and that link to get to the community by heading to the link in my bio, link, right? Or just shoot me a message and I will send it to you directly for sure. Can do that as well. If you're gonna join us in person, remember that it is a paid offering to join in person at our studio space because we have limited spaces available. So you can buy an 8 class pack to join in on just that class series for $144, or you can get it as a part of your unlimited membership if you're already a member, or if you want to sign up for that unlimited membership. That's $145 for that membership. We have a new student special that you can get $25 off of that membership, but it is a 2-month commitment to sign up as a new student for that. So there's lots of ways that you can get signed up to join us, whether you're going to do it in person or you're going to do it at home. But just know that when you stream at home, live streaming, you will get to join for free. So what else do I have here? There's another question that someone asked. If I have an unlimited membership, how do I sign up for classes? Where do I find classes to get signed up? Yes, that is a great question. So as I mentioned, that this is free for those that want to live stream. Regardless if you're going to live stream or if you're going to attend in person, all the classes are available on Free Spirit Wellness's public schedule. So head over there and you would just need to hit sign up, and then it'll give you your options on payment options, or if you already have your unlimited membership, right? If you already have access, it'll show up as an option. The classes are also listed and available for sign up within that online community space. So you can find it on our public schedule or within the online community space. An important note though is you need to sign up for the challenge provided through the link that I provided, like I said, in my bio, so that you can get that access code and the link to the community and being part of that email grouping that I can send the class links out to stream. So just make sure to get signed up to that link in the bio so you can get your access code. And then once you receive that access code with the access link to the community as well, you'll just need to create a login account with us if you haven't already done so. If you've been to our studio before, or if you were already signed up through last year's Solstice Strengthening Series, you will already have an account set up. If you haven't already, you just need to put in your email and create a password to remember, and then that will create an account for you. And in that account, once you get into that account, you'll be able to find your community access in your active packages tab of your account. As well as for those that are using their regular membership, they can sign up as usual using their membership. Or if you have that access code, it'll prompt you to add in that access code when you try to access the community. So again, head to the link in my bio. That's going to be where I'm just going to keep sending you. Head to the link in my bio so that you can get that access code, get the link to get access to the community. And I hope to see you there, really, because some of the things that you'll probably learn along the way that you don't realize maybe now, because there's a lot of doubt of like 108, that seems like a lot, right? Some things you might learn along the way, though, is you're stronger than you think. I have students who have done this 2-3 years with me now, and each year they get excited about being able to come back because they've seen just the transformation from the year before, and they get excited to be able to experience that, or to re-up their knowledge, or to kind of refresh, right? So you're stronger than you think. Also, negative energy does not define you. So there can be a lot of negative thoughts about, can I do this? I don't know. I'm not strong enough. I'm not flexible enough. A lot of negative thoughts that come around. But if you just listen to your gut and it feels right for you to want to try this, then go for that, right? Go for it. And you'll soon learn that negative energy doesn't define you, because you'll start getting into this new alignment with taking this challenge, right? And that's going to shift your mindset. That's going to help shift your mindset into a more positive space. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I've designed it to do. And then also you'll have the power to shift your perspective. So again, same thing with shifting that negative energy and knowing it doesn't define you, right? You are able to shift your perspective, because if right now you're thinking, I don't know if I can do this, and then you sign up, you will surprise yourself by the end of this with shifting your perspective, knowing that you are capable, right? And you can find grounding amidst any challenge is another one, because that's what this is really about, is finding that sense of grounding amidst these changing of seasons, when we can feel a little lost, or maybe getting into those darker months, and it can feel just hard, right? So find that midst of grounding amidst this intentional action to bring in the seasons in a different way than you may have before. Another thing that you may learn along the way is that you will discover your inner drive. Doing those sun salutations on repeat, it can get, you can definitely start to question, like, why am I doing this? But once you just get connected to that breath and you know your options, your modifications to feel confident to continue doing those sun salutations, right? You'll discover an inner drive that maybe you didn't know was there before. And the last thing I'll say that you might find that you'll learn along the way is you'll have more energy afterwards. These sun salutations, like I said, are a great way to wake up that body, are a great way to move that stuck energy and move that prana. So you may realize that after doing some sun salutations, you've got more energy, right, than you did before. And another cool thing about the sun salutation is it's that little sequence that you can have in the back pocket to like pull out when you're looking for some yoga, or when you're looking for some movement in the morning before you start your day, right? You don't have time for an hour class. Throw in 5 minutes of doing some sun salutation rounds with your modifications, right? But that's the cool thing, is you'll have gained so much confidence around this sun salutation sequence after this challenge that walking away from this, you'll have some pretty cool yoga knowledge in the back of your pocket, even if you've never done yoga before, right? Because you'll be able to have this and you'll feel empowered to move your body because you'll know how, right? That's what it is. So lastly, I just want to say that we reached 54 sun salutations in 2022. We reached 70 sun salutations in 2023. We'll see where we get this year. The way we do that last class is we don't just start our sun salutations and do it straight for 2 hours. No way. I want to say this as my last little thing before I go, is that last class, it's 2 hours allotted where we are going to do reps of like maybe 10 sun salutations, take a break to do some stretching to reset, another rep of 10, take a break, another rep of 10, right? And so we're very much going to just see how we go and see how we feel. And it's not about reaching 108. It's about the experience and the journey leading up to it, and really being able to intentionally harness this transformation of the seasons so that you can feel that transformation inside, right? That's what it's about. That's what it is, right? Be intentional about heading into these winter months, because they can be dreary, they can be hard, they can drag us down. And so this challenge, this space is really giving you that light at the end of that tunnel. If it seems like a dark tunnel, let it be that little light and just kind of follow that, right? And see where you end up after the 8 weeks. If you have any more questions about it, please leave them in the comments of this video or shoot me a DM. I want to just answer any doubts that you may have, really. Maybe there's something that I didn't hit on, or if my information was too confusing, just shoot me a message to clarify, and whatever I can do to help explain what this challenge is made for, who it is made for, and why I'm doing it, why you should be a part of it. Let me know. But other than that, I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys to it for the rest of a wonderful day. And I really hope I can see you join me October 26th for the Solstice Strengthening Series 8-week challenge. We kick it off October 26th. Classes will be Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. The last class on the 22nd for that Winter Solstice celebration is going to start at 7:30. So we'll have 2 hours allotted. But other than that, I've got some fun things, bonus content that you can join in on, like Q&A sessions that we'll have between our classes so that we can really break down any questions you have within your own body and your own practice and those postures and what we go over in classes. As well as, like I said, I'll have some extra materials in terms of mindfulness practices inside the community to enjoy. So I really hope to see you there. Let me know if you have any questions. Keep following along as we get closer to the kickoff day, because I'm going to be sharing testimonials from students who have joined in the past, as well as just talking more and more about it, trying to make you know how much you need to be a part of this challenge. Because it's just got a lot of good stuff in there, and I could go on and on about it, but I've already done that. I've said my spiel of the details, and I really hope to see you there. Again, my name is Megan, and we are kicking off our Solstice Strengthening 8-week yoga challenge on October 26th, and we will see you then.